present to
92.
92.
Yeah, tell him.
Bitch.
92,
Bro,
bitch.
present show 92, bitch.
Another lane red. I ain't talking about the bloods, cause the money on your head. Talking about you from mailing fucking bitches.
Man, this is a bomb. Awesome interview right here, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are. Most of them should, but go ahead, man.
My name is Splinter, and I'm from Bakersfield, California, bro. And some of you guys might recognize me from a channel I have, Prison POV.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Prison POV. Go check it out right now, man. Check out his channel. A lot of awesome content on there, man. Yes, sir. I'm a viewer myself, so, you know, it's kind of big. So what's up, man? So you said you're from Bakersfield. Is that where you've been all your life, or?
Yes. First, I want to add something real quick, man. At first, my channel was Methadone Detox. I was detoxing out that methadone. But before I changed it to a prison channel, man, you're one of the channels I saw that motivated me to do that, bro. Because I saw you're one of the first channels I saw. Yeah, dog. You know, I was digging your content. I like your channel, bro, because it fills me in. I don't know nothing about East Coast, the prison stuff. It's a lot different from Cali, bro. So I watch channels like yours. Puts me up on game, bro. So I appreciate that, man. Salute.
Hey, yes, sir. Salute to you. It's interesting, man, and that's why we're doing this interview, because it's kind of us just chopping it up, and it's East Coast, West Coast. You know, me giving my insight, you giving yours. You know, I'm not saying I'm the representative for the whole East Coast, but I'm giving you my perspective, and you're giving yours. So
give me that point of view on the East Coast, so you know what I mean. But yeah, I've been in my whole life. Been in Bakersfield, California, my whole life. Born and raised.
Okay, is that in Southern California or?
Southern. It's interesting about Bakersfield. We're right on the border. We're the most northern town, so we're the most northern southern town. You know what I'm saying? We're right there on the border. Kern County.
Right.
Yep.
Remember, I was born in Sacramento, man, in Northern California, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah. I know Cali's like a huge city.
Yeah, Sacramento always has a pretty strong car in the pen, dog. Bunch of solid dudes. Sacramento cars pretty cool.
I always wonder, what do they call them guys, man? If I go into the pen in Cali and I'm from Sacramento, how do I announce myself? Or like, what are the Sacramento boys called? Is there a name or?
Yeah, there is. Well, if you're like a first termer, if you haven't even put no work in yet, you're just going to come in, you can be straight Sacramento. But after you've been there for a while and put some work in, you can go up to a Sacramaniac. That's what they call themselves, Sacramaniacs. And the skinheads, they got out there too of skinheads, and they're called Sacto Skins. So Bubba from Sacto Skins, my sideburns right here. Bubba did. So they're kind of small. One of my giants said, "Those aren't sideburns. Those look like earrings, homeboy," because they're kind of small. No, but yeah,
dude, this is So you said tattooed right there.
What's that?
You said that's tattooed right there?
Yeah, the little sideburns. They're called Celtic knot. Celtic knot. Can't really see them that good, huh?
Yeah, we can see them now. Yeah, that's how I want to see. It's hard to see those. I see all these tat stuff. But yeah, man, that's knowledge I never known. So, but if you're from Sacramento, are you still with the Woods, or how's that work? Because I know them politics are crazy, man, in Cali.
Yeah, we're still the Woods. There's this, you know, it's interesting how all these things break down. There's one big car, the Peckerwood car you're part of, but then they'll break it down to NorCal, SoCal, you know, the fellas. Well, then they'll break it down within their individual town. So there's a lot of set tripping going on. You know, for instance, I'm from California, but then I could say Kern County, but then I could break it down more and say I'm from Bakersfield. Then I could break it down more and say I'm from Rexon Acres, my neighborhood. So there's a big group of the Woods, but you get to keep breaking it down, keep set tripping a smaller and smaller car. You get down to your just flat out your street, homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm assuming it would be some like, and I know it's hard for you to speak on this, you know, because you're part of the Woods somewhat, like you're not in this group, but for like, say the blacks, if I'm a blood, I'm still a black, but I'm with the Bloods, or like a Crip is, you know, might hang out with the Crips. Is that how it goes for the other side?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, the gangs in there. Yeah, it's weird when you go. It's not weird, but it's just different, bro, than everywhere else, because the gangs in there are just race. When you go in there, you can have the whites, you know, the blacks, Siders, Northerners. Yeah, it's just about race. But even though you have the Mexicans break up, though. The Mexicans don't just run by race. The Mexicans will divide right off the bat south, you know. But yeah, Bloods and Crips, they will come in and just run black, you know. Because if there's a riot with the whites and blacks, the whites aren't going to just go after the Crips or just go after the Bloods. They're going to go after all the blacks. So they got to band together. You know, just like if they're going to rush them, they'll group up together. If you're too small, Crips and Bloods, you're too small of a group. You join up, you're just black. You know, you're tougher and you could, you know, got more action. So numbers.
There's power in numbers. There's more power in numbers. So that's kind of how it is. Like in Maryland, it's different, but the Bloods and Crips definitely tie flags in Maryland, man. They tie flags, meaning like they're affiliated, they're rocking with each other because it's not enough of them compared to the other gangs in there, the DMI, the BGF. So it's interesting though.
Does anyone go in there and claim their town? Like you as a white boy, do you go in there and claim your town? Do people go in there and they claim like whatever little town they're from, their city?
Not really, man. I might tell somebody like, yeah, I'm from Lexington Park, and people scream that shit all the time that are from the park. That's what we call it, the park. You know what I'm saying? And but it's not like, you know, we might, if I see somebody from my area, of course we're gonna chop it up, be cool most of the time if he's a good dude, you know. But it's not like we're gonna run together. It's just you pretty much go by, if you're in a gang, you might be, you know, for a white boy, for instance, I might be DMI. The Blood and Crip thing, that's like controversy. It never really happens, man. You might see it, it might be but it never really happens unless you're really putting in a shit ton of work for them. You got money coming in for them. But besides that, if you're white, you're probably going to be DMI. You're probably going to be a dog, or you're just going to be running on your own, you know, kind of like I did. Just did my own thing. And like you said about race, you know, it's not like there's no, for Maryland, okay, so the whites can take up for each other. Like when I was in maximum security, the whites on our tier kind of ran that whole tier. But at the same time, we did business with the blacks. We hung out with the blacks. We could even eat with the blacks, smoke with the blacks, or any other race, you know, and it's all good. There's no problems to, you know, there. It's not segregated really, but at the same time, yeah, if you're not affiliated, you're probably going to hang out, you know, depending on the prison, with majority whites if you are white, but you can still talk to any other race, any other group, man. It's like a free-for-all kind of, so to speak, you know? It's like a free-for-all.
How do they sell people up? By race? Like, would they put you, a white guy, in a cell with a black guy?
Now, I'm going to speak on that too, but real quick, I do want to say whites can join the ABs and things like that too. I forgot to mention them. You can be an AB. If you're something like that, then yeah, you're probably not going to talk to the blacks. So, yeah, I do want to mention that. But yeah, selling up, man, that's very interesting. So, look, when I went to Hagerstown, I went to maximum security prison. I get to the intake tier. They just assign me a cell. The police tell me what cell to go to. I'm in there with a white guy, just coincidentally. And I sit there until I go to my tier that I'm going to do my time at, my housing unit, you know. They send me to unit 4. It's like a housing unit with 3 different tiers on there, 3 different, you know, sections that are blocked off from each other. Now, when I get there with my big-ass cart and my items and belongings in there, there's a guy that works there that's actually an inmate. So, like, the lifers or longtime inmates are the guys that are in control of where you bunk. And yeah, I mean, they could set you up. They could say, hey, send little Johnny in the cell with Big Bill. And, you know, it ain't going to end too good. But I told him, yeah, I told dude, like, look, man, give me a fucking cool celly. Like, I'm not going for that shit. If it's all bad, then it's going to be all bad. I'm not going for anything. So he put me in a cell. He's like, man, there's this guy named Dutch. He's from Virginia. He's a real cool dude, blah, blah, blah. He'll take you under his wing, like, you know, go in that cell. So that's the cell he put me in, but it's up to the inmate. So if he wanted to, you know, I've seen people get put in cells to where their cell buddy, it might be a white dude, black dude, and the black dude don't let him touch his TV. If he cuts it on while he's at work or some shit like that and finds out, he's going to get stabbed. Yeah, it's going to be real bad, man. So I've seen people have a hard time. When I went to that tier, there was another guy with me that was like a little nerdy, and he was in the cell right next to me with this guy named Toke. And Toke, like, he made him shut up when it was nighttime. He made him not touch his TV, and he didn't play, man. So yeah, you can get put in a bad cell with anybody. That's when the rape happens for real. You know, when little Johnny gets put in that cell, and that big ass black dude that's been in there for over 100, well, that's got over 100 years, been in there for 20, you know, and bam, man, it's bad. You hear it. You can hear it happen, man. Hear bad shit happening themselves.
Yeah, in California, you're only going to get sold up with your own race, period. You can just sailed up with a white guy. Since I'm white, the blacks go with the blacks. They do not intermingle the cells. And we have
So
no
when
race.
you're
Huh?
So when you're in a cell, even the cops, they can't play games and like, oh, I'm gonna put John Boy that thinks he's a white supremacist in the cell with this black guy.
No.
Can't
Mm.
do it.
No.
Damn.
One time,
So-
well, in Buchanan County Jail, when you very, very first get booked, they could put you like in, like in a dorm, maybe 6-man dorm or something. And one time I ran from the cops. I was young and I ran. They caught me, and there were a bunch of Bloods. There's not very many Bloods in Bakersfield. There's only, I don't even know if there's any now. When I was a kid, they had like one street. So there's like a bunch of Bloods that did some shooting or something. Like 6 of them. They had them all in one cell, and they put me in that cell with them. The cops did, because I ran, thinking they would fuck with me. But they were just so caught up in their drama because they got busted with a shooting, and they were all stressed out, figuring out their own shit. They stayed over there, and I stayed over here. We didn't even talk, But no, they when it comes to cell living, one-on-one cell living, you just go in your own race. And we have no rapes in California. No rapes out here, dog. None.
Damn. So
Yeah.
So that's like not just a convict code. That's like just the law, pretty much. Like you ain't going in a cell with another race, no matter what. Even if you said, "Hey, that's my homeboy, that's my brother, it's my stepbrother," you ain't going in that cell.
No, the law won't put you in there. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so also, man, I've heard a lot about working out and things like that. So if I go to prison in California, I'm expected to join the Woods. You're saying I can't say, nah, I don't want to join. I just want to do my time. I just want to,
It's not a matter of joining. You're just automatically a Wood. A Wood is not really a gang. It's just a white boy. Like even a black guy walking by, even a black guy could say, "Hey, Wood, you got a pen I can use real quick?" Like it's not a bad word to say, "Hey, Wood." You're just a white. It's just instead of saying white guy, they say heck Wood. It's not joining. You come into prison, California, you're a Wood right at the bat. Period. Unless you're super lame and no one likes you, they might call you a Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like a disrespectful. Like he ain't even good enough to be a Wood. He's a straight Caucasian. But at that point, they're being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But everyone's a Wood right at the top. You come in, you're a Wood. Period.
Being the Wood is almost like a respectful term. Then it's almost like an honor to be called that, because that means you're one of the white guys that are ready to go somewhat. For the most part, from what I hear. But all right, so it's not really a gang. It's just like the label on the white guys. Are you expected to work out though, as bunking with the white guys and stuff, or is that true, man? Like, do I have to work out? Say I'm 400 pounds in there, I'm overweight. Are y'all gonna expect me to really hit that yard and hit them burpees every day, or am I gonna be able to fucking lay on that bunk?
No, I mean I've never seen anyone beat up for not working out. What they'll do is they'll just strongly suggest, like, "Hey, homeboy, you need to work out," or just be like, "Come on, bro, we're gonna go." And if someone just flat out says, "No, I'm not working out, I'm not doing nothing," they're 400 pounds. The people probably clown them, shame them, put them on lame status, just look at them like you think, But everyone everyone works out though. Everyone wants to. You kill time, you get big, you want to be able to defend.
Yeah.
So I never seen, but there are some people who don't do it and they don't get in trouble. They just get shamed,
Right. So it's not like there's a white guy that's trying to tell all the new ones, the fresh fish, like, you have to work out, you better do this. It's kind of like uplifting the people. It's kind of like wanting your men to be strong around you and better the men around you, make sure they're solid, I guess, on the same program everybody else is on. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up, because sometimes it sounds like you're going to go in there and they're going to make your ass work out, and if you don't, you're getting stabbed up, no question about it, like you're getting thrown away. But I see now it seems like, you want all the men on the same program and program in the right way. So if something does kick off, everybody's ready to go. And I can respect that. I would be cool with that. So I think I could respect that, man. And it doesn't really seem like just because,
There is one instance in California system where mandatory you do work out, and that's in the hole. If you're in the hole and add seg or the shoe, mandatory you have to work out. Because when you all go to yard together, you all work out together at the same time with the same routine. And they send you a copy of the routine, and they expect you to learn it and memorize it, because you all go out there and do it together. So yeah, but like if I went to prison and I walked in, there's a guy from Bakersfield and he was new, I would just say, "Hey, homeboy, what's up, dog?" I said, "Look, we work out at 9 o'clock right before lunch. Let's all go. Let's go." And then people say, "Let's do it." I've never had no one say, "No, fuck that. I don't want to." People just do it because It's the
I
thing
mean,
to do.
yeah, right.
Why-
Thing to do, man. That's the thing to do in prison. Bulk up and work out. And so if you're in the hole, you're going to be in a cell, right? They're not letting you out to that cage for an hour? Or how's that working in California?
Yeah, you'll go out to the cage for an hour with your cellie. There'll be a lot of people out there, a lot of cages, and they all work out together. You know, and there's like a
Yeah,
hard
'cause
count,
when-
soft count. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Because I know sometimes lockdown in Maryland, you don't even get to go out of your cell for the most part. Like you might get to shower or something like that, man, but you're not really going out to do anything. Some prisons don't even have those cages that I've seen like in movies from California prisons or documented footage, you know, from like Lockup Raw. Yeah, I don't see too many of those out on the yard. I've seen those cages, like if a riot kicks off or something, they got to ship everybody out to prison, like a dozen, 2 dozen people. They'll put them in them in individual cages, have them inside of the prison, you know, waiting like however many hours or a day, whatever, to get up out of there. But yeah, that's
In 2006, I caught an assault with a weapon, and I went to the hole at Soledad. I was back there for 9 months, and they had group yards. They had not taken away the group yards. They hadn't brought the cages on yet. So we were all out there together, all in the hole. Yeah, group yards.
oh, if you're in the hole, you can be out there together, or you
Yeah.
were.
Yeah,
Damn.
the cages is like a new thing. Something over the last 10 years or so, something new. But back in the day, it was just everyone out there together, people getting jacked up, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Because you're on lockdown in the hole. And so when you're in the hole in California, can you still order commissary or no? You're
They
stuck back
limit-
there. Nobody.
Yeah, they limit it. Like on mainline, I think you can get $190 a month, and then the whole you can only get $40. So they limit how much
shit.
you can spend. Yeah, they limit what you can spend, and they don't give you all the options.
See, that's
So-
something I never heard too, Splinter, that I think the people might want to know. See, in Maryland, the limit in any prison in Maryland to spend on commissary is $85, no matter what. I don't care what level, what maximum. 85. That's huh?
Or a week, a month, 85 a month.
No. That's like, oh, you order monthly? See, we order like every other week, I believe, in Maryland. It's
Oh,
You
so
feel the-
85 a week. Okay. Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
190 a month. We only go one time a month.
oh, okay. See, this is like weekly. You fill the sheet out the week before, and then it'll come like a few days later on the next week most of the time. Most prisons. Some prisons, different days, different times, but it's 85 weekly. And you know, noodles, things like that are like 30 cents, man. It's not too expensive in Maryland, so
You
it's
guys
not
get
too bad.
packages? You get packages?
Like you can order from catalogs. I did a video on that not too long ago. Like, you know, beard trimmers, sweatpants, sweatsuits. People can send you books too. They can order books from like Amazon and send it directly to you if it's
Yeah.
directly from Amazon.
Yeah. Your people can't mail you like a big box of food, like 30 pounds of food.
No, hell no.
Yeah,
Hell, you can,
30-pound packages once every 90 days.
damn. So do they screen all that food, man, or?
It used to come from your family, but they changed it and you have to order it from a company. You know, because people.
Oh, okay. They probably did that because people putting drugs inside the rice and stuff like that. And yeah, man, that makes sense. All right, yeah. So that's pretty cool, man. So that's kind of like when you're in the county jail in Maryland, you can have people order you shit online and it comes to you, and you can order up to like $300 at a time, man. It's awesome. But in Maryland prison, yeah, you can only have them order you books, and that's pretty much it, like books. And then you can order out the catalog for clothes and shoes, and then you order the 85 a week in commissary, man, and that's it. But yeah, ordering monthly, man, that must be hard to budget. So if you order like 1 month and then you gamble it all away, or you go binge and get high, man, I see why people run these drug debts up in California, man. Damn.
Let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. If you get caught in Maryland with a shank, a knife, or if you get caught with some dope, or if you catch a stabbing, do they make you go back to county court, catch another term? What's the punishment like there in Maryland?
All right, so they just changed the law while I was in there. I had a cell buddy, a white guy named Devin. He was like 19, man. He was getting extorted by this Crip guy that kind of took him under the wing. Long story short, he acted like he's his friend, but really he was getting boxing from him all the time. And if he wouldn't give it to him, shit would have happened. But anyway, Devin kept a knife on him because he always has Suboxone on him. So he didn't want somebody to, you know, rob him. There's a bunch of bloods that slept by him that I had beef with personally and actually got in a fight with. I didn't like them. Them dudes were like shitty dudes, man, trying to use their little 3-4 numbers, you know, to gang up on the one guy that's neutral. So anyway, bunch of punks. But he got caught with his knife, man, and they changed the law to where if you even have a knife, don't even use it. You just got a knife. You're getting a year added to your sentence. 1 year flat added to your sentence. Most of the time, it's consecutive. It's after your time. It's not going to be ran concurrent, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what that's.
How about dope? How about if you get caught with dope in there?
I've never seen anybody get caught with dope personally, so I can't really speak on it. Give you
Is there dope there? You guys have a lot of dope there? Is there a lot of dope there?
So in the Baltimore areas, they do got it, man. Sometimes that shit is bullshit. Sometimes it's strong. I've never done it in there. I've done the Suboxone. Suboxone's like the most popular thing in there, dude. Them strips are super popular. People put them in the spoon, put water in it, snort it. You know, they're fucked up all day. Dope's, you know, way more expensive, like $50 for a little small line, man. If you could imagine, like just a little teeny tiny, and then it's done. So it's not too popular in Maryland prisons now, and you would have to be in the Baltimore area to even get that, you know. So, but they do got needles in there. I've seen, you know, I've walked in the bathroom. I've seen a DMI guy. You know, he's on FaceTime with his wife. Got it on the counter, the iPhone, and he's shooting up Suboxone, whatever it was. But yeah, they got needles. They bring a lot of shit in there, Splinter. Honestly, man, when you're in the Baltimore area, like I said before, them BGF guys, man, Black Gorilla Family, they're like notorious around there. You know, they've got COs pregnant, and they got 2 COs pregnant, and they're fighting over each other at work. And then it goes on the news. Yeah, one guy got 2 female COs pregnant at the same place. Yeah, and you can look it up, man. Google it. BGF guy right in Baltimore prisons. And so like when I was there minimum, man, long story short, they blocked the bathroom off for like 3-4 hours because they were at the bathroom window and they made like this little cut up sheet rope and with a bucket on the end of it, you know, out of sheet. And they dropped it down out the window. The Baltimore guys at nighttime cut through the fence, came up to the window on the ground level though, and put shit in that pocket, cell phones, K2, Suboxone, knives. And they were just reeling it up like they were going fishing, man, for like 2 hours, no lie, straight. And then they cut up everybody's mattresses and stuffed them all in the mattress. So, yeah, Maryland gets a lot of contraband in there from a lot of different ways, man. And yeah, that's another thing. A lot of our COs are like African COs. I don't know why, but in that area, in the Baltimore, Jessup area, they're all like literally from Africa, you know, like Africans. And a lot of them are crooked, man. They want to make that money, you know. So they'll do anything pretty much. They'll do anything for them green dots.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Do y'all got the,
Go ahead.
y'all got green dots in there too, man? How's that work? Like if I ordered my once a month commissary and I'm out of commissary and I owe you $300, how would I pay you back? I'm in California prison.
Yeah, green dots, or they have what's called a mail out. Like you'll have your people mail money to someone's PO box. That's pretty common. That's usually how they do it. It's called a mail out. Or yeah, you can come up with green dots, have your people shoot them green dots. I've only seen that once or twice, not real common. Mostly it's just the mail outs, you know. So they don't they have drug debt back there in Baltimore? People get in trouble for the dope debt or no? Because they just have Suboxone, so no one's really getting in debt, huh?
So the most common thing in Maryland prisons, man. Okay, so there's a guy, he's a dope fiend, but really a dope fiend because he loves Suboxone, you know, and he doesn't have much money, never gets much money. But he goes up to the BGF guys, whoever's in control of it in that prison, and he'll start using, you know, start liking it, whatever, do his thing. And then there's always a store man in every prison, as you know, every dorm, matter of fact, every dorm, every cell, whatever. There's a store man. He'll go to the store man. He'll do the 2-for-1 deal. You know, I get 1 from you, I'll give you 2 back. And he'll get like $40, $50, man, and he'll cash out. He'll get his shit, and then he'll check in the next day. And that's the most common way, like, people really get fucked up over drugs, because he'll go to another prison, cool, but then they'll send word out to the streets, and the streets send it back to prison, and then he gets his head bust, man. He gets his wig split, as Big Herc would say, pretty much. That's wig split in action. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the most common thing. They run up debts with the store man. That's why it's like hard to be a store man in Maryland, because there's so many fiends that'll run that debt up, man. And yeah. You'll You'll eventually see them in another prison, though. That's the thing about it. There's not a lot of prisons in Maryland, you know? So we only got one woman's prison, and we got about, like, 6 popular men's prison that most people go to. So, maybe a few more, but it's about 6 main prisons, especially for, like, maximum. But, yeah, man. So, yeah, so basically what brought you to prison, man? So that way they know a little bit more about you.
Well, I got 2 terms. I have 2 terms in, and I did a lot of violations. I don't know how it is in Baltimore, but in California, when you catch a term, like my second term, I got 4.5, 3 years parole. Then when you catch a violation, they add an extra year, so you have 4 years parole. And how parole works is you abscond, the clock stops, right? And then if you go in, do a 6-month violation, then you have 3.5 years of parole. Do another 6-month violation, you have 3 years parole. Do another year violation, you have 2 years parole. So you burn that 4 years out either on violations or on doing good, which I never did good because I never reported the parole office. So I got like 7 years just in violations alone. And I got 2 terms. And my last term was for burglary GTA. Yes, sir. I got 4.5.
Oh, they gave you 4.5 for that?
Yep. And it was crazy, dude. It was an ex-girl. It was me and my girlfriend were getting in a fight, right? And we lived together and we had a car. It was her car, but we drove it. So we were fighting. She wouldn't let me in the house, so I climb in through the window. I found the window open. I climb in, and she took off running. So I grabbed the car keys and split. And they want to call that burglary GTA. For burglary for taking the keys and GTA for taking the car. I was like, you gotta pick one, man. It's either a burglary or a GTA, man. It can't be both, Right.
But I was,
that double jeopardy type shit.
Right, yeah, I know. Trying you for both. Yeah, that's crazy, Splinter. And that was pretty much my last charges that brought me to prison as well, man. That's crazy. I got fleeing and eluding. I got unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, which is basically GTA in Maryland. And I had a bunch of burglaries. Now, I had several indictments on burglaries, but the main ones I pled guilty to was like 3 first-degree burglaries and the auto theft and fleeing and eluding. And long story short, what happened with me, man, is I was just on a dope mission, and I was broke into a house. I came back a day later. Nobody was still at the house. The door was still broken wide open. And I figured the dude was out. Yeah, I guess if the police would have came, they would have had the door sealed up, man. The house was still accessible. And I hacked the door open with an axe. In my police report, it says I use a fine-honed axe. You know what I'm saying? Like a really sharp axe. So anyway, I hacked the door open. I'm only in the garage. I'm like, fuck, there's another door. I hacked through that door, like The Shining or something, like busting through the door. And so I'm looking through the house, and I find liquor bottles because I already ran through this house. Matter of fact, I find money and jewelry, but then I come back a second time, I meant to say, and I'm looking for something else to steal, I'm desperate. And I find liquor bottles, and I call the dope man. I'm like, look, man, I got a bunch of bottles of liquor, blah, blah, blah. Just give me $40 of dope or something. And he's like, cool, but not tonight. Do it tomorrow morning. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna be up all night sick. What can I do all night? I lay on the couch sick. I fall asleep for like 30 minutes, wake right up, because I'm so dope sick. And I'm like, dude, I got to do something. There's 2 cars in the garage. It's like a Toyota GT, some older car from the 80s, and then like a Nissan Frontier supercharged truck. It was a stick shift. Now, I take the keys. There's steering wheel locks on them. I find the key to the steering wheel lock for the truck and the key for the ignition. Long story short, I drive the truck to a whole different county. I stop by a retail store. I park it by a fire door, a fire exit on the side. I go in. I steal a TV. I run out the fire door, throw it in the stolen truck, and I shoot back to my county. By then, I'm hitting my dope dealer up. Look, I got a TV, man. Just give me $80 worth of drugs, blah, blah, blah. He finally hits me back, says, come on through. I get the drugs. I inject them at a gas station bathroom, man, dirty-ass bathroom, high as hell. And my dumb ass goes back to the same house that I broken into. Now, mind you, I left the garage door open when I rolled out. I didn't get out the truck to shut the garage door. Now, it's morning time. He's got neighbors. Those neighbors seen the garage doors open. His truck's missing, and he's out of town in Florida on vacation. So they call him, and they're like, dude, is somebody using your truck? What's going on? And he said, I didn't give anybody permission, call the cops. I pull up to that street. I'm about to put the truck back and then dip on foot, and just leave it alone, be done with it. I didn't know any cops were around. The whole street was filled up with cops, dude. Whole street. I'm in a stick shift, so I literally put it in reverse, put it in first gear, put it in reverse, you know, to do a 3-point turn. So I'm driving and I see the cops behind me. I'm in first gear. The truck's like rocking back and forth, man. I got drugs on me, so I'm trying to hide them because there's cops all behind me. And by the time I hit the drugs on my body, man, I stopped the truck and the cops pulled me out at gunpoint. You know, the whole deal. Threw me on the ground, put their knee in my back, cigarette burning my face, still hanging out my mouth. And that was it for me. That was my last day on the streets pretty much, man. That's the burglary GTA of my story. So.
Wow, man. Wow. Hey, do they give you, how does time work back there? They give you guys half time on your sentence. Did they give you, 4 years? You do half of that? You do all of it? 30%?
So it all depends how you get sentenced and what goes on. So for me, I kind of did a way longer time than I should have because I sat in county for almost a year waiting for trial because it's a long story, but I had a bunch of little small district court charges. And then I had these big circuit court felonies, which was like, the burglaries, the auto thefts. They indicted me on like 16 different burglaries, and some houses I broken into 3-4 times. And so long story short, I ended up getting time served in district court for the small, the theft from Best Buy, theft from Shoppers Grocery Store, robbery, stealing out of cars, all those small things. Got time served for sitting in county for almost a year. And then they gave me a fresh 3-year sentence. Well, when you go to DOC, they just changed the laws to where, like, if you catch the charge last year or up to now, good days actually work. They'll give you, if it's nonviolent, you get 50% off your time. If it's violent, you get like 25% off of your time. When I was there, when I caught my charges and went to DOC, it was a hair different. It was like less lenient than it is now, to where you almost had to do the whole sentence unless you paroled out. And then it depends if it's it can be violent to parole and non-violent to DOC. I know I'm saying a lot of different things. It's hard to kind of keep up, but it's crazy how the system works, man. Like, it might be violent to DOC, meaning you're going to have a longer release date, but then parole might say it's non-violent to where you can get out pretty fucking early, But for the most part, if it's non-violent, nowadays, if you get locked up today in Maryland, you're doing half your time. You get 10-year sentence, you're doing 5 years. If it's violent, you'll do about 7 or something like that. Plus, you can work inside the prison and get 5 days off a month just by having like a janitor job. So
yeah, sweet, man, sweet. It's about how it is in California. Half time, unless it's violent. Violent, you're gonna do 85%.
Right. Yeah, they just changed the law though. If anybody Googles it and looks up Maryland law, whatever, if you just want to, they did just pass that bill. And it happened. So I caught my charge like a year or so before they passed the bill. And it's not like retroactive to where it's not getting people out of prison that, caught the charges before that law passed, unfortunately. So, but, yeah.
So what else is going on?
Not much, man. Just graduated drug court today. Actually, that was a 2.5-year long run. Like I said, because of the county time, the prison time, I did over 3 years incarcerated. Then I had to do drug court, which was supposed to be a year, lasted 2.5 years. I'm finally off parole now because I paroled out of prison like right around the time of my release date. If I would have waited a month later, I would have got out anyway, pretty much, because parole don't come and pick you up right when you make parole. They make you wait for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. Then they just come get you some random ass day and you never know. Anyway, so yeah, I went through hell with the drug court thing too, man. I got 20 years over my head. I got 1 year of probation left and just trying to work, man, and stay clean. Now it's really a challenge because I ain't got nobody breathing down my back. So,
yeah.
I guess show the viewers that plaque, man. That's what that drug court, thing looks like.
Nice, congratulations.
But yeah, man. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Are you still on probation or what are you dealing with now, man, as far as the judicial system goes?
Nah, nothing, bro. I've been out for 7 years now. Been off parole.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And how's so all your ripping and running, have you ever had to deal with anything from the past, man? Like, I know you told a story on Dev's channel how that guy just came up and rushed you from behind. And I think you had to poke him up and stuff. Like, did that beef ever exist after you got out, or?
Never seen that guy. And then never seen that guy since. A couple kites back and forth in county jail when I was in the pretrial side and he was on the farm. shooting a kite saying we just squashed it. So it's pretty much squashed between me and him. I haven't seen him. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
yes. Yeah, because that was a crazy story, dude. I remember watching that, man, and hearing about how he kind of put, tried to say that you're all bad, and or somebody said that in one of the prisons, and then yeah, that's another thing, man. If you get labeled that in a prison, that's hard to fight. But thank God they got
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's rough.
yeah, now they look that stuff up on cell phones in Maryland. They'll just look your name up, check your ID tag, get your name. You won't even know they're looking you up, and they'll just look you up. And if it's bad, yeah, it's bad, man. So
Yeah, exactly.
hell yeah. All right, well, yeah, man. I guess this is gonna be part 1, man, of Parole Prison Show with your channel, Prison POV. You can shout that out, man. Tell them how to find you.
Yes, Prison POV, man. And I should bring you on my channel. I haven't done any interviews yet, man. I should figure out how to do it. Bring you on there, and we should do part 2 over on my channel, bro. It might be an idea.
Sir.
Huh? Yeah,
Matter
yeah.
Fact, part 2 coming to Prison POV. The link will be in the description. It'll be in the comment. It's gonna be everywhere. He's not hard to find. You'll find him easily, man. I'll be on there for part 2. We're still gonna chop it up. There's a lot of things we still gotta cover, man. This is just like an introduction for you guys. Lots and lots of politics, crazy things, addiction, tons of shit, tons of fun. So we're going to end this one, man, for y'all. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to Prison POV. Hit him up. Watch his videos. Stay tuned for the interview coming on his channel, man. Show some love if you want to see that part 2 on there.
Peace.
Yes, sir. All right, we out.
Man, that was good, dog.